Picture this. You're walking up to this facade, you're seconds away from experiencing a movie property house. And you thought to yourself, man, I hate this property. I think this movie sucked. I think this property is awful. Why did Horror Nights do this? A couple minutes later, you walk out and you say, oh my God, that movie property was fucking awesome. Maybe I need to check out that movie again. That is what we are talking about in today's video, about Halloween Horror Nights and how it can reframe your mind. And I'm guaranteeing it's probably gonna happen this year again. So if I said the name Ash, Shop Smart, Shop S Smart, does any of this ring a bell? Well, if you thought I was talking about Ash versus the Evil Dead, no, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. I think that house is absolutely awful. And I like the show, but I think that house property swapped because that house was bad. No, we are talking about the Evil Dead property. And at Halloween Horror Nights 23, they were bringing something truly imaginable, something truly scary. Now, I like some of the visual stuff in there. The Deadites, they look absolutely amazing. The gore. I just wasn't a big fan of the overall story, and a lot of the characters in there I thought were just really annoying or really dumb for a horror movie. And I really liked the old Evil Dead, especially the trilogy, Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness. And actually, a lot of those have been featured at Halloween Horror Nights, which I would love for them to go back and do a trilogy set of that. Come on, Horror Nights, do it. But yeah, this house really surprised me with the way it was really just graphic and the way it was scary. There was some really great moments, especially the Deadite in the basement. You know, they're all gonna get you, and the way they were able to do that scene was really cool. Now, this was truly a haunted house that I would say that puts you into the movie, like in the literal movie. So great job on this. It really turned me around. Not dare say on the movie, I really haven't gone back and watched the movie, but I remember this house being amazing and making me actually like the movie. Not literally like the movie, but you know what I mean. And the next one might shock a lot of people. Now, I like this movie property overall. I like the first one a lot. I wasn't a big fan of the second movie or some of the movies after that, but this movie property has been featured at Halloween Horror Nights a couple times, and in fact, it was mostly everyone's favorite from last year. And what we are going back in time to Halloween Horror Nights 25.
If you call out to one of the dead, all of them can hear you.
With Insidious in a sprung tent. Now, the facade on this was beautiful. The way they had the big house, the changing lights, you saw it off in distance. Very beautiful for a tent house, for a facade. Like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Insidious past the first one, and this house actually featured a couple different scenes from, I believe, 1 all the way up to, I think, the third film. I think it was the third film. Don't hold me to that. Now, while I wasn't the biggest fan of those movie properties, this house overall was special. It was definitely more of a best of hits than the previous Insidious house that we had last year, because this one, it was like, hey, remember this, remember this, remember this. And then we're going to sprinkle in the third one in there and towards the last end of the house. But I enjoyed this house overall. I liked all the characters, all the sound bites that they used. It made me actually be a fan of this property, believe it or not. Overall, from all 3 movies that I don't really care for except for the first one, I actually liked all of the movies that they used in this one. So good job, Horror Nights. You got me to like Insidious. So this next one, it's going to shock a lot of people. It might make you freeze in fear. And what we're talking about is Halloween Horror Nights the very next year at 26. Now, this property is called Krampus. And I know, before you hit that thumbs down, I've changed my opinion a little bit on this movie since this time. Now, I actually enjoyed the house. I didn't think it was amazing, but I thought it was a solid Christmas-esque house. And it gave me a little bit more than what the movie, I felt like it wanted to be so much more, but it just couldn't reach that potential. Much how Trick or Treat, I think, is a better movie than Krampus. I know that's controversial to say, but Krampus is just more a solid Christmas movie. It's not, to me, the best horror Christmas movie if we're talking. Like Gremlins is up there. But what was cool about this house particular is that they expanded past what we saw in the movie, which, yes, you start off, you go to the house, you go into, basically most of the film takes place in the house, so that's mostly of what you do. But they extended it by making you go down to Krampus's lair, and there was some really cool elements in there, really cool stuff that they did. So I think they really kind of turned me around, and when I see Krampus on, I'll casually watch it. It's not like my go-to every Christmas, but I'll casually watch it if it was on. I have no problems with it. So one of the most talked about horror films of all time, considered to be in everyone's top 5, maybe top 10.
Mother, what's wrong with me?
For some odd reason, Blumhouse decided to do The Exorcist Believer, a remake, well, I guess a loosely remake of The Exorcist, telling the story about the 2 girls being possessed and how that went about. Not going to sugarcoat this. The movie is awful, really awful. And in fact, when we went to Blumfest at Orlando in Universal Studios and we got to watch The Exorcist Believer, I in fact took a nice little nap during that movie and woke up towards the end of it. It was so bad. So thank you for that nap, Blumhouse. But the house, on the other hand, when this got announced, a lot of people and a lot of the community, a lot of horror fans were very much grumbling and anger about this, because a lot of people said this movie is not out yet. How can you make the house? This is not going to be great because we had The Exorcist before and it was so-so, and this looks like it takes place all in one room. Like, how is this going to work? Lo and behold, The Exorcist Believer was a fantastic house. I think most people loved this house that year. It was scary. It had a lot of quotables. It was just done on a different level. Now, granted, Orlando and Hollywood, I think, were decently good houses for this property, especially given what they were given. You know, it's a terrible movie. So, I mean, how do you flip that into a great house? You just make it scary. props to Horror Nights for expanding upon the movie property that, or at least the piece of trash they were given to work with. So thank you, Horror Nights. The other day, I decided to watch a movie that's rumored to be coming to Halloween Horror Nights this year. And I sat there and I tried to watch it, and I just kept finding myself being just bored and not liking this property. Now, I've already tried to watch some of the other films in this series and didn't enjoy those. I thought maybe this one was going to be a step up. Maybe it was going to be better. Yeah, I hate to say it, and I know this is going to receive a lot of hate. I don't really like Terrifier. I think Art the Clown is cool as a character. I don't have a problem with him. I think it's the movie overall. It's the quality of the movie. It's the acting in the movie. The characters are not great. And we're just there just for an hour plus whatever to watch Art the Clown kill people in graphic ways. That's what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. The reason why I made this video is in hopes that when Terrifier comes to Halloween Horror Nights and I experience it, hopefully I have a drastic opinion that is changed and I see this movie in a new way. But that has been it for today's video. Thank you for tuning in. Leave it down in the comment section if there is a movie that has sort of had a little bit change of heart for you because of Horror Nights made it a haunted house experience. So leave it down in the comment section. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will catch you on another video. Peace out, everybody.